Hey everyone, I'm Liz Peterson, and today I want to talk to you about Pipedrive's forecast reporting. The forecast views can be a really great way to look at your data in Pipedrive, but if you're looking at forecast reports and not seeing the information that you expect, you're not alone. So today I want to talk about how you can debug that data and make sure that you have all of the inputs that you need for the forecast reports to work properly. So we're going to be looking at forecast reports for the sales pipeline. So here in the sales pipeline, you can see this is the total value of everything in this pipeline. This is the weighted value, and we have a total of 12 deals. Okay. And there are two different ways to look at forecast reports. One is just by switching to the forecast view. So that's by clicking here. Now I'm looking at the forecast view for this pipeline. Here I'm looking at the pipeline view, and then there's list views as well. So here in the forecast view, this is one way. Then there's also reports you can create in Insights. So to get there, you'll click Insights. I just have this pulled up here on my demo dash. So I have a sales forecast report using the full deal value, and then a sales forecast report using the weighted deal value, again, all in the sales pipeline. So what you likely quickly see here is these values. If you sum these values, it doesn't come remotely close to this overall value, and neither does it on the weighted value. And in the forecast view, you can see there's just these 4 deals being counted, and you have this little arrow and kind of help text down here saying, here are open deals without an expected close date. So that's problem number 1. There's no expected close date for a number of these deals. So in this forecast report, they aren't included because we don't know if they were meant to close last year or if they're meant to close after June of this year. We have no idea, or Pipedrive has no idea where to put those deals. So you can come in and go one by one through the deals here, or you can set a date for all of the deals, but unlikely that you want to set the same exact date for all of your deals. So what I prefer to do in this case is set up a filter. So I've set up a filter here, which is the deal pipeline is sales, the deal status is open. I have selected to save the columns with this filter so that I can have only specific data kind of visible in this view. And I'm going to make this shared, and I'll show you why in a moment. So you can see there's a number of deals owned by Liz and a few deals owned by Rachel. One thing you might want to do is send out to your sales rep and say, hey guys, we're trying to do forecast reporting. I need you to update the expected close date and the deal value and maybe the deal probability as well. And the way you can do that is if you add a additional condition to this filter and say that the owner is current user and click save. Then if you click out this filter, or if you send out this filter, so if you copy and send this link, whoever opens this link is going to see only deals where they are the owner. So if I send this to Rachel, Rachel logs into Pipedrive, she goes to this link, she's going to see her deals here and none of mine. So she'll have that exact list that she needs to update. So I definitely recommend adding that condition if you're going to ask sales reps to update that data. So deal value and expected close date, those are both working on all of the reports for forecasts. And then there's also probability. Probability does not necessarily need to be manually updated on each deal if you want to just set it by stage. So let me come back to my pipeline here. If I edit the pipeline, you can see that there's this probability by stage. So if this is completed, this is what's going to be used by default. So if there's a $10,000 open deal in the initial outreach stage, Pipedrive is going to say the weighted probability is 25% of that. So 25,000 or 2,500, excuse me, is what they're going to be calculating into your weighted value. If on the specific deal, that probability is, let's say, set to 50%, then Pipedrive will use that 50%. So if nothing is set individually on the deal, whatever is set on each stage of the pipeline will be used. But if you set anything additional within the deal itself, that will override the probability that is set on the pipeline itself. So what I'm going to do is here in this filter, I'm going to update a bunch of expected close dates, maybe some probabilities and values, and then I'm going to take you back to our forecast reports and to the forecast view and show you what those changes look like. So this is what it looks like now. Pause the video, make some updates, and then bring you back in. All right, those updates have been made. I'm going to actually also add the stage here, just because you can tell from earlier in the video what the actual probability was on the pipeline. And then I've actually just changed a few to 100% so you can see in the report how that adjusts. So now if we look at our forecast reports in Insights, you can see January and February are the same. That's because I've said it's 100% probability for all of those deals. And actually the January expected close date, it is now February. Really, that should be updated. And that's something I would talk to sales reps about. Like, this isn't going to close January 9th. It's already February 5th. So maybe that gets updated and they're like, yeah, it's going to happen later on this week or this month. And they update it. And then your reports will update to reflect that as well. Here, what you're seeing down here, you can see blue is still open and green is won. So that is already secured, while blue is still pending. Those actual close dates may change from what is expected. And then also within these reports, you can always add or change the number of columns. So I've just done 6 columns, viewing by month. You could also view by quarter, weekly, whatever is best for or right for your sales process. And then you can adjust the number of columns in each of your charts if you want to see more or less data. Then if I go to the forecast report here, you see this has updated as well. So now all of those deals are being captured here. One thing you might notice on either of those places is the still value is still 0. So actually, as far as the value count, it's not contributing at all, even though there is an expected close date. So we would want to make sure there's a value here. So here, I'm going to add a value and head on back to the pipeline view. And now that value has updated. So here you can also see percent probability for all of the deals, how it's doing that calculation. And again, you can see, hover over, it gives you more information here as well. But that is it. If you are using forecast reports, you want to make sure that the deals have a value, they have an expected close date. And if you care about the weighted value of opportunities, then you want to make sure that you're using probability, which again, you can either use the probabilities that are set on each stage of your pipeline itself, and you can customize probabilities for specific deals by adding that input on the individual opportunity. As always, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.